So we will be starting Act 3, Scene 3. We will be starting Act 3, Scene 3. Am I right? Okay, fine. Now, so Act 3, Scene 3. Again, Venice. Venice is the venue. Enter Shylock, the Jew, and Solanio and Antonio and the jailer. Jailer means already he is in prison and tomorrow he will be tried for forfeiting the bond, and so they enter the scene and already Antonio is in jail for forfeiting the bond, and tomorrow, the next day, that is, there will be the trial of Antonio, that famous trial around which the whole play revolves. Shylock, jailer, look to him. Let not me of mercy. So jailer, just look to him. Shylock is very, he was waiting for his day. For this day, specifically, he was waiting for this very day. Because Antonio had always been a thorn in his flesh. Antonio had hit him where it hurts him most. That is, Antonio had been able to spoil his business. Spoil his business of lending money. That's his business. And Antonio had been able to spoil his business. And that is why he bears all grudge and anger against Antonio. He bears all grudge and anger against Antonio. So he says, jailer, look to him. Tell me not of mercy. Tell me not of mercy. Don't tell me to be merciful to this Jew. I won't be merciful to this Jew. To this Christian, that is Antonio. Don't tell me to be merciful. Now that he has got him at his weakest point, he doesn't want to leave this chance. Yes. Now, this is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him. Now he's saying that this is the fool. This Antonio is the fool. He has lent out money without taking interest. He has lent out money, and that is why people were unwilling to come to me. People were unwilling to come to me because this man has lent money. Antonio says, hear me, good Shylock. Well, just hear me. Let's see if we can have some talk. And if we can settle the matter. Shylock, I'll have my bond. That's the final thing I say. I'll have nothing else. I need no talking, no nothing. Now that the bond is forfeit, so I will have what is written in the bond when it is forfeited. Speak not against my bond. Speak not against my bond. Don't speak a word against my bond. I don't want to hear that. I've sworn an oath that I will have my bond, and so this is my oath that I have taken, that I will only have nothing but only my bond. Thou callest me dog before thou hadst a cause. So he not only, the main cause of anger is that he spoiled his business. He spoiled his business. He lent out money on interest, but he never, what should I say, Antonio, in most cases, tried to help that person so that he can pay without giving interest. That's his main cause of anger. But he has other causes also. It's not that he did not have any, or rather does not have any other cause of anger. He has other causes also. And the other causes are that Antonio often abused him, called him names, spat on his dress. So Antonio behaved with him in the most inhuman way, and that is true to a great extent. That is true to a great extent, that Antonio behaved with him in the most inhuman way possible. And that is what he's talking about. Thou callest me dog before thou hast a cause. Even before you had any reason. I did not bear any enmity with you. I was not your enemy. But out of pride, out of hatred for a Jew, you always called me evil names. You called me a dog. But since I am a dog, well, look, I accept today I am a dog. Beware my fangs. Actually, a dog doesn't have fangs. Fangs is a very long canine teeth. Snakes have fangs, big long canine teeth, which they bite and put this. If it's so they push the poison. Snakes have fangs. These big cats, tigers, lions, cheetahs, leopards, they have fangs. Dog normally doesn't have fangs. Maybe a slightly longer canines they have. But he is deliberately using a hyperbole. Hyperbole means an exaggerating sentence or a lie or a word, expression. An exaggerating sentence or an expression to give an effect. To give an effect. And he is deliberately using a hyperbolic expression to show, to give a picture of, a terrifying picture of himself. So, but since I am a dog, beware my fangs. The Duke shall grant me justice. The Duke shall grant me justice. I know. Not that the Duke is very much willing to grant him justice. Shylock also knows that. This is something inhuman. Well, the Duke, normally being a Christian, also has hatred for the Jew. Shylock knows that very well. The whole of the Christian community has a hatred for the Jew. And the Duke also has a hatred for Shylock. First of all, and second of all, the Duke would be most reluctant to grant such an inhuman bond. He would be most reluctant to grant such an inhuman bond. That Shylock knows very well. But he says that the Duke shall grant me justice. But because of the law, and that the Duke is supposed to be the defender of the law, the Duke is sitting on his chair to defend the law of Venice. He cannot deny what is legally right, what is legally correct. I do wonder, thou naughty jailer, that thou art so fond to come abroad with him at his request. Possibly this shows that it may be that Antonius is still not in jail, but the jailer has also come to Antonio and that place in order to appeal on behalf of Antonio. So he says, well, I do wonder that you naughty jailer, you are so fond of Antonio that you have come here with him at his request. Because Antonio has requested you, because Antonio has prayed to you to come and speak in his favor, to give an utterance, to convince the Jew, to convince Shylock, you have come up here also, which I of course dislike, because as the jailer you should be neutral. I pray thee, hear me. Thee is, it's an old English. Thee means you. So I pray you, Shylock, hear me. Once at least you hear me. I'll have my bond. That's what I hear. Or that is what I can only hear. I'll have my bond. I'll not hear thee speak. I've not come here to hear you speak. I'll not hear you. I'll have my bond and therefore speak no more. I don't need to hear from you. I don't need to hear from you. So don't speak. I'll not be made a soft and dull-eyed fool. And remember very well, that I won't become a soft and dull-eyed fool. Soft means here soft-hearted. Soft-eyed means soft-hearted person. Dull-eyed, one who is easily deceived. One who is easily deceived. So don't think I'm easily deceived. I'm not that type. And of course, the word fool refers to foolishness. According to Shylock, kindness is actually synonymous with foolishness. To show kindness is a fool's religion. And I'm no fool if he is. So it is synonymous with foolishness, kindness. To shake the head, relent, and sigh and yield to Christian intercessors. Don't think I'm like that. that I'll also shake head with you. Oh, sorry, you are in a very troublesome, you are in deep trouble. Then relent, give up, feel sorry, and just leave, and just give up. Relent means to show forgiveness, and then sigh that what a mistake it would have been, and give up. To Christian intercessors, intercessors means the word intercessor means one who intervenes. One who intervenes. You know what's the meaning of intervenes? One who tries to come and persuade somebody from enmity, from quarrel. One who tries to become a go-between. One who tries to become a go-between. Follow not. I'll have no speaking. So, jailer, don't follow me. Or Antonio, don't follow me. I'll have no speaking. I'm not interested in talking to you. I will have my bond. Now see, mark the modal will. Mark the modal will. The normal version of in a normal sentence, normally we use the word shall after the modal shall after I, after the subject I. We normally use it. Shall after the subject I. But in special cases, we use will when we want to give utmost stress on what we want to do, or when we want to show utmost determination. When we want to show our utmost determination, that we use I will. For instance, some people say, I will go to the top. I will go to the top. That is showing his determination. So, I will have my bond. And he says that without speaking, he just leaves, exits. He just goes out. He's not at all interested. Now, yes, he had been wronged, and now he has become fiendish, like a fiend, like a terrible monster. He has got his chance. He has caught him at his weak point. He doesn't want to give it up. It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men. And Solanio, again, another Christian. And see, Tubal, being a Jew, is always in sympathy with Shylock, is in most cases sympathetic to Shylock, but not our Solanio, who is a friend and follower of Antonio and Bassanio, and at the same time who is a Christian. And of course, they have reasons to be angry that Shylock is becoming inhuman. It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men. It is the most impenetrable. Impenetrable means whose eyes are or ears are shut. Eyes and ears and everything. You cannot penetrate through it. You cannot put your message through it. You cannot place and penetrate what you want to say through his eyes and ears. So it is the most impenetrable cur. Cur means, of course, a dog. A dog. Actually, cur is used in a slang way. Normally, when we try to use dog as an abusive language in a slang manner, we normally use cur. So it is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men, that ever was with men. Antonio knows that it is impossible to convince Shylock. Shylock's hatred has taken all over him. Let him alone. I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. Let him alone. Let him go wherever he likes. Let him do what he wants. I will not go after him begging. Useless prayers. Bootless. Useless. He seeks my life. His reason well I know. He is wanting to take my life. He is wanting to take my life. He is wanting to take my life. I know the reason why. Why he hates so much that he wants to take my life. I oft delivered from his forfeitures many that have at times made moan to me. Often people who had, as I said, borrowed money from him. Often people who had borrowed money from him. I have often and were at the point of forfeiting the bond, and as a result would lose all their property and everything which they have kept as a part of the bond if they cannot pay back. When such moments came and people came and prayed to me, I often lent money without taking interest. I gave them money so that before the time they can get hold of the or save themselves from the forfeiture. Many that at times made moan to me, therefore he hates me. He hates me for that. I know that. He hates me for that. I know it very well. I have hit him so long at his weakest point, that is his business. I've delivered people from his clutches, and that is why he hates me. I'm sure the Duke will never grant this forfeiture to hold. Solanio is still very, very optimistic. He's very, very optimistic still. He says, well, I don't think the Duke will allow this forfeiture to take the shape as it has, that it is going to take. I don't think so. That the Duke will allow such a forfeiture to end up in such a cruel, inhuman way. The Duke cannot deny the course of law. For the commodity that strangers have with us in Venice, if it be denied, will much impeach the justice of the state. Antonio says, well, I'm sure that the Duke will not be able to deny justice to Shylock. When the bond is forfeited, Shylock has the right to take a pound of flesh from my body, and I'm sure that the Duke will not be able to stop him, even if he wants to stop him. Possibly he will want to stop him, but he cannot. See, I'll now tell you the reason why, and it is for that reason that our Shylock also said that the Duke will grant me justice. The Duke shall grant me justice. Again, see, again, in that sentence, if you look, the Duke shall grant me justice. When the subject is in the third person, then normally the modal used, the modal used for the subject in third person is actually will. The Duke will, that is the normal thing. But when shall is used, the modal shall is used after the subject in third person, then it shows that the speaker is wanting to give utmost stress. Just like I will, the Duke shall. It is of utmost stress he is wanting to give. So, now coming back to our line 26. The Duke cannot deny the course of law, for the commodity that strangers have with us in Venice, if it be denied, will impeach the justice of the state. See, Venice was a very important point. If we understand, Venice was a very, very important port. Venice being a very important port, one of the gateways to Europe. So Venice was, what should I say, very, very what should I say? But a lot of merchants came from all over the place, from Turkey, Greece, and the Far East, and then the Northern Europeans and the British. They all came because Venice was a very important point, a gateway to the east and a gateway to the west for business. So here the laws have to be very strictly followed. Otherwise, travelers, if there is a forfeiture or if there is a breaking of the law from the part of the Duke, well, whatever is there in the law, the terms and conditions of business in Venice, if it is ignored, then the foreign investors who are coming to Venice, who are coming to trade in Venice, they will feel insecure. They will think that their wealth is not in safe hands, and they will tend to come less to Venice. They will seek other places where they can carry out their business. So in order to save Venice, it is not the cause of saving one person, but for the general good of Venice. If it is denied, if this forfeiture is denied, means this Duke is an inconsistent person, not a constant figure. He is an inconsistent person, not a constant figure. He cannot stick to the law, whatever be the law. He cannot stick to it. And so, these these tradesmen, businessmen, they will feel that the justice of the state is impeached, hindered. The justice of the state is hindered. So Venice will no longer be a safe place to carry out business. Venice will no longer be a safe place to carry out business. And as a result, traders will move away from Venice and carry out their trade at other places. That would be a huge financial loss for Venice, and Venice won't be able to bear that. So the Duke will not be able to do that. So he will have to grant the bond, whether he likes it or not. Since that the trade and profit of the city consisted of all nations. All nations congregate here. Venice is a very, very important center point, a very important port. So all nations gather here for business, and the trade and profit of the city mainly comes from Venice. Therefore go. These griefs and losses have so baited me that I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. He says, see, you go. I know I have my fate. And moreover, the huge loss that I have suffered in business, the huge loss that I have suffered in business has so much affected me, that maybe tomorrow, when I'll have to give up a pound of flesh from my body to my creditor, I won't be, that loss is more than my pound of flesh from my body, because already I am bankrupt with my loss. Well, jailer, on. Pray God Bassanio come to me, pay his debt, and then I care not. I have helped Bassanio, who is very dear to me. So my only thing is that Bassanio comes back to me in time. Comes back to me in time, before I am dead. That would be Bassanio's paying back my debt. That would be Bassanio's paying back my debt. And then whether I die or I live, I care not. I just care not whether I die or I live. Okay. Now, Act 3, Scene 4. The scene has shifted to Belmont. Well, I told you one thing, that Shakespeare did never observe this, the three unities, the unity of time, place and action, which was there so much in the classical Greek and Latin dramas at that time, that the play should take place within, say, 45 minutes, 1 hour, maximum 2 hours, because otherwise it becomes unnatural, and it should take place at one place, because again that would be unnatural, suddenly the same place becoming this city and again another city. And of course action means there is no subplot, and Shakespeare in all cases are violated. We see in Shakespeare's dramas, as I said, months pass away, maybe years also, from one part of the drama to the other, same drama. Again, place also, once it happens in Venice, the next scene we see Belmont. And of course, Shakespeare's plays have a subplot, a very important subplot. Now, what I am trying to say is that Shakespeare being an excellent artist, had been able to achieve these things, even by violating the things. Artists like Ben Jonson even did not care to do that, or rather dare to do that. He did not dare to do that, violate these. Okay. So now it's again the palace of Portia, or the mansion of Portia. Belmont. Enter Portia, Nerissa, Lorenzo, Jessica, and Balthazar, a man of Portia's. Balthazar is actually the servant, one who runs errands for Portia. So, the characters are Portia, her maid Nerissa, and then you have Lorenzo, his Jew wife turned Christian, Jessica, and Balthazar, an errand man or a servant of Portia. Lorenzo says, Madam, although I speak it in your presence, you have a noble and true conceit of godlike amity. Lorenzo says that, Madam, although I am telling it in front of you, normally it is people praise at the back of somebody. Otherwise, it might sound flattery. If you praise somebody at your face, then that sounds as flattery, that you are trying to flatter that person. So normally a person is praised from behind when he or she is not there. And normally, if you want to tell anything which is not good of that person, normally it is better to tell it in front of him and settle the matter there instead of backbiting. So he's saying that although I am speaking it in front of you, you have a noble and a true conceit of godlike amity. That you have a very noble mind, wisdom, conceit here in the sense of wisdom, and very true wisdom. A godlike friendship, amity, goodness, friendship. So you have a godlike friendship, which appears most strongly in bearing thus the absence of your Lord. And now that Bassanio is not there, we are able to realize that more in you. Because when Bassanio was there, half or more than half of our attention was taken up by Bassanio, who is personally my friend. But now that Bassanio is not there, we can observe you, we can feel you, and as a result, we can understand very well that you have a very friendly, godlike, friendly attitude with great wisdom, true, honest in every sense, noble. But if you know to whom you show this honor, you have given Bassanio the permission to use your wealth to free his friend, which you might not have allowed Bassanio because it's your money and you don't know whether it's getting lost forever. But you did not care. You gave a large sum of money, 10 times, or rather 20 times the amount. 20 times the amount you have given. And that shows your greatness, that you have a great heart, great feelings, fellow feelings. You don't know that person whom you are trying to save. But let me tell you, if you knew that person, that gentleman, you have sent relief. Relief means help. Help. If you knew that person, that gentleman whom you have sent help for, how dear a lover of my Lord, your husband, I know you would be prouder of the work than customary bounty can enforce. If you know that this Antonio, to whom you have rendered your helping hand, just because he is a friend of Bassanio, your husband and my friend, you would be able to understand that, if you knew what type of a godlike person is that Antonio, then you would feel proud of your work. You would feel proud. It would no more remain as just a bounty, customary bounty. Just a help. Just a help. Plain help. Showing your greatness. You would be proud to help such a person. You would be proud to redress such a person out of danger. Portia says, I never did repent for doing good, nor shall not now. I will not repent doing good to some people, to anybody. No, I have never repented, I never repented before. Never did I repent. And now, nor shall I do it now. For in companions that do converse and waste the time together, whose souls do not bear an eagle, yoke of love, there must be needs a like proportion of lineaments. Now he's saying that for in companions that do converse and waste the time together, who talk together, who go on discussing things, whose souls, hearts do not match. Egal means equal. Who do not have equal hearts, but still they are friends, very, very close to one another, even if their hearts do not match. Means they don't have any closeness of mind. They do not have any closeness of mind. There must needs a like proportion of lineaments, of manners and of spirit. Then it must be, even if their minds do not match, there must be a closeness in their features, in their spirits, and their manners of behavior, how they behave with each other. There must be some sort of an equality equality. And that's why they can mix with each other. Which makes me think that this Antonio, being the bosom lover of my Lord, must needs be like my Lord. So I feel very much that this Antonio must be my, what should I say, must be a very close bosom from the heart, a lover from the heart, a friend from the heart. He must be like that. Otherwise it wouldn't have happened. It would never have happened like that. So he must be very, very close to my friend. Yes, to my husband. If it be so, how little is the cost that I have bestowed in purchasing the semblance of my soul from out the state of hellish cruelty. If it is true that Antonio and Bassanio are very, very close to each other, if it is true that Antonio and Bassanio are very, very close to each other, then it must be said, that how little is the cost I have bestowed. Bestowed means deposited. How little is the money that I have deposited in purchasing the semblance of my soul. Bassanio is my soul, my being my husband, and I love him dearly. Bassanio is my soul, and this man is the semblance, similar to my Lord's or my husband's soul. He is similar to my husband's soul. In that sense, so, from out the state of hellish cruelty, so now I believe that if I am been able to deposit some money to take this man out of a hellish state of cruelty where he is suffering, a hellish state of cruelty where he is suffering, then I feel that I have done my duty. I feel very, very grateful that I have been able to do it. This comes too near the praising of myself, therefore no more of it. So I feel that it was my duty to help him, because he is so similar to the person, my husband, whom I love. He's the dearest friend of my husband. So if I can relieve him from cruelty where he is seeping in, I feel I have done my duty. But I don't think this discussion should carry on. The Portia says that I don't think this discussion should at all carry on, because all this discussion is appearing as my praise, which I hate to do. It is appearing as my praise, and I hate to praise myself like that. So therefore no more of it. Here are other things, Lorenzo. Well, for the time being, here other things. I have something important to tell you. I have other important things to tell you. Lorenzo, I commit unto your hands the husbandry and manage of my house until my Lord's return. I'm giving you a greater responsibility. I'm giving you a greater responsibility to manage and carry out all the ordering that is needed to run this household. Husbandry, all the ordering and management that is required to carry out this household till my husband Bassanio returns. Till my husband Bassanio returns, my Lord. For mine own part, I have toward heaven breathed the secret vow to live in prayer and contemplation, only attended by Nerissa here until her husband and my Lord's return. Because till Bassanio comes back, and when the time will come that we will be able to celebrate our wedding, the wedding feast, we can hold our wedding feast. I have secretly vowed to spend my time in celibacy, completely in prayers and meditation. I do not want to engage myself in worldly affairs till my husband returns. And my only follower there would be Nerissa and nobody else. There's a monastery 2 miles off, and there we will abide. So there's a monastery just about 2 miles off, and there we will remain. I do desire you not to deny this imposition. Imposition means the charge, the command that I have given you, the charge of my house. I desire you not to deny this imposition, the which my love and some necessity now lays upon. Because of my love for duty and certain necessities, that I am forced to take this decision. Madam, with all my heart I shall obey you in all fair commands. So Lorenzo says that, well, I will accept what you are saying with all my heart, and we will take care of this house. My people do already know my mind, and we will acknowledge you and Jessica, in place of Lord Bassanio and myself. So fare you well till we shall meet again. Well, my servants have been informed. And they will do what is necessary. Or I'm sorry, not what is necessary. They will obey you. I'm sorry. They will obey you as they obey Bassanio and me. They will obey you. I have told them, I have given them my orders. They will obey you and Jessica as if you are Lord Bassanio and Jessica is Portia. So till we return, I think I should say farewell to you. Fair thoughts and happy hours attend on you. Lorenzo says, fair thoughts and happy hours, let it attend on you. Jessica, I wish your ladyship all hearts content. all heart satisfaction, I wish your leadership. I thank you for your wish, and I am well pleased to wish it back on you. And I am also very pleased that I can wish it back on you. Fare you well, Jessica. And Jessica and Lorenzo exits. So I think we can do up to this much today. But just don't go away. I have something to tell you. So I think we can, but up to today, I will do this much. Just hold on for a minute.